To tell. Hey everybody, welcome to Kats Creations live on a Friday night. I want to welcome you to my kitchen where tonight we are going to be creating a very fun whimsical design of Santa's workshop. And we know that according to legend, right, the elves are the ones that make the toys. So in this case we're going to be doing a really cute little door with some elves that are basically guarding the door so that you don't open the door and spill all the secrets of what's hiding behind the door, on a Deco mesh base with red and white metallic / iridescent Deco mesh. We're kind of doing a two-fold process. We're going to add a nice bow to the top or the bottom. We're still like trying to figure out if it looks better on the bottom or the top. But we'll have to wait until we actually create the design so that we can see how everything looks. So, we're right at 5. Is there anybody there? Sound and audio check.
Terry Byers, Gail, Audrey, Brenda Watkins, Stephanie, Debbie, Julie, and Brenda Westbury and Joy.
Okay, so if you are watching this and you do not see a little live red little rectangle at the top that says live, this is a replay for those of you that might catch this a little bit later after we're finished, or for those of you that are on YouTube. Now, if you're on my YouTube channel and you want to participate in the Facebook Live, just join me at facebook.com, KatsCreations777, every Friday night at 5 Pacific, 7 Central, and 8 p.m. Eastern. And then we can chat just like everybody else has the opportunity to do so. So what I'm going to do is walk you through the materials. We're using a 14-inch work frame wreath work frame. And this one is like with the red soft tinsel ties. These are the ones that I like to use quite a bit. We're going to be taking, I'm trying to think, it's 10-inch Deco mesh cut to 20-inch pieces. This was my initial thought process. I was just going to do Ruffles through all the 18 pipe cleaners, but I don't know if you guys can see, this is kind of see-through, which by the time you fill your wreath, it starts to look a little too transparent. Even knowing I'm going to add, you know, some big plush figures, a door, a bow, I'm like, am I really going to be that concerned with the Deco mesh? For me, it's all about quality. So I never want to kind of skimp on the quality just for the fact I don't want to double up my Deco mesh. And sadly, the red and white design, I only had one roll of this. And so what I would have ideally liked to have done was probably a 30-inch cruffle on it instead. But I'm going to show you how I solved the problem to kind of thicken it up and make our base a little fuller and nicer to work upon. So you're going to need to cut, for me, I cut 18 pieces at 20 inches of the red and white metallic for my ruffles. But I also came back and instead of just doing a poof base, because that would make it a little too high and too fluffy, and then things just wouldn't sit right, I decided to come in and just do this same ruffle technique, 20-inch pieces on the bottom. And so what it does, because I started to do a mock-up with a whole bunch of different color combinations to see which one I liked, what I liked is that it kind of created that icy sparkle. So this iridescent kind of has a rainbow, depending upon how the light hits it, it kind of gives it that rainbow effect. So we're going to put the white down first, then we're going to come back and add the red and white to that, so that we'll have a very thick and a very full base. So that's just my preference. You could lay down just a regular base anyway. So we're just going to go ahead and start ruffling and filling in. And if you guys have any questions, this would probably be the perfect opportunity to start asking them. I picked the work frame wreath just because I had it and I kind of want to use them up, and I'm just going to kind of go around and add uppers or lowers as I come across them. And I think when I did this initially, let me look. I'm kind of looking at, did I open it? Yes, okay. So I just wanted to double check how I did it. What I did is I opened the twist tie and then I added the red right on top of it. So most of the time I don't. I usually just lay everything like right on top of the tinsel tie.
Are they both cut to 20 inch?
These are both cut to 20 inches.
How hard would it be for you to ruffle both of them at the same time?
I'm just so picky that I like them. Like I don't want to have to fight the cut edges on each piece. So I'm just going to do one and then the other.
Hi everyone,
Probably
just
not that
joining.
hard.
Thank you for liking and sharing the page and watching tonight. Happy Friday.
Now that you said that, I'm going to try that and see.
Anyone that's new, please let us know you're new and what city and state you're from.
Let's try that, babe. We will try to ruffle at the same time. That was Steve's suggestion. It gets really thick, that's for sure. Like the mesh that you're holding in your hand is really super thick. So I would probably do it the way I originally had.
Okay.
One and then the
I just thought
other.
it'd save you time if you did them both at the same time.
It's going to be the exact same. See, then I have to sit here and fight so much of the Deco mesh in each section to get it all to lay where it needs to. So I'm just going to kind of keep with what I do and why I do it.
Brenda asked, where did you get the Deco mesh?
Both of the iridescent and the red and white came from Craft Outlet. So I kept pulling other Deco mesh and it's weird. Every one that I grabbed that I thought would look good, like I grabbed a high foil green, it just looked hideous with this design. I was like, ugh. So even Steve heard me. He's like, what's up? And I'm like, just trying to come up with a problem, which is my Deco mesh is kind of thin and I want to thicken it up, but I don't want to do a whole poof base and then throw a ruffle on top of that.
Cheryl and Tammy, yeah, the size of the Deco meshes are both cut to the same size, which is 20 inches.
Yes, and the only reason I'm doubling them is I just want a thicker, fuller base.
And then Antoinette asked, is the frame from the mystery box?
Yes, the frame is, and actually the red and white metallic Deco mesh came from the mystery box, as well as the girl elf came from the mystery box. Don't know if they were all in the same one, but that's where she came from. So I had to go find her
A boy elf.
a boy elf. So this way they could just both be safeguarding the workshop together. They're my elf security detail. So I'm not even twisting it. I'm just, until I can get my secondary piece in, I'm just like lightly bending that so that I can come back in and add this piece.
Gloria just a while ago said that is the way I make all my bases.
Double?
I guess with what ruffle? Like a 20
Oh, the
inch
ruffle?
Yeah.
Yeah. Normally a ruffle, if you get really good quality Deco mesh, it doesn't have to be thickened like this, but the design is such that I didn't want it as transparent as it was coming across. And all I did was 3. I did an upper and 2 lowers just to do a small section and see what I thought, and I really just did not like the way it looked. So I pulled it all apart and redesigned it. So that's just me.
Margie said, hi everyone, I just finished a ruffle Deco mesh Christmas wreath just in time to watch you.
Oh, very cool. Thank you.
Diane asked how many twist ties are on the frame.
This one was interesting. It's 9 on the outside and 9 on the inside. So they rotate to where they are kind of not directly across from each other.
Gotcha.
So see, like I just pulled them that way, and then I can go back in.
And Patty, yes, she is laying them down in the same direction.
Yes, with the finished edges to the inside and to the bottom. So that.
Or the inside and the outside, rather than side to side.
Yeah, this way and this way. Like I scrunched it this way, but now I'm gonna turn it and open this up just by doing it this way and then kind of just poofing that back out and then just twisting it like 1.5 times, because the whole inside, the inside 9 are going to be useless for any kind of decoration, because between the door and where the elves sit, I won't be able to add ribbon to it or an embellishment to it. I have the option if I want to cut them off, or I can just leave them there. So we'll have to wait and see. So I'm just kind of going around and adding them too. I just want a full mesh, but this almost becomes a 40-inch ruffle to some extreme.
Joy said she had the boy in her cart tonight, but put him back.
Yeah, the price on Hobby Lobby stuff right now at 50% off was not that bad, because I think he was $14.99. So that brings him down to like $7.50, which is a really good price. But I'm also going to teach you how we prepped it, because as you guys know, it's all about the weight for us in shipping wreaths. So anywhere that we can save on weight, that's definitely going to be a plus. And I'll post pictures later of what we discovered, but I'll share with you the tip tonight. So let me get this all done, get our base created, and then I'll show you how we prep them.
Thank you for sharing, gals. Peggy, we saw your
She
shed. It looks pretty nice so far.
That's like a mini warehouse on, that's really nice. I was telling Steve, I liked that. I wonder how many square feet that is. What is the current square footage inside?
Well, I would say it's probably 10 feet wide by,
I think it's
like 25 feet long, so.
I think it's bigger. I think it's bigger than that. That's like every crafter's dream.
Probably 250, 300 square feet.
Besides a really big warehouse filled with craft supplies,
I don't know.
which is every crafter's dream.
So both the deck and watch are basically from Craft Outlet.
Yes. I could tell by the label, just like you all can. And this is, believe it or not, a high foil iridescent. Every other column has an iridescent foil in it, so this is making it a lot thicker.
So you said it's 12 by 32.
Ah, I told
So
you.
it's like roughly 360 some feet.
Jeez, that's huge. She's gonna have some crafting parties in there. I keep knocking them all to the floor. I had them all perfectly situated in there. So we're just pulling the deco mesh towards us. I just like it. This look, it just makes it like an iridescent sparkly rainbow.
Cheryl asked, have you seen any improvement in your shop with your new shipping policy?
Yes, I have. I really have. I think the sticker shock, believe it or not, even though customers would say there's no difference, I think all customers expect to pay some type of shipping. So offering a flat rate instead of free shipping and then bringing the cost of my wreaths down has really benefited. So that's just what has worked with me. I was hoping to see like crickets chirping if free shipping was the big huge push, but 60% of my business is Etsy is not helping me bring those customers into my shop. So those are marketing efforts on my own that is just reminding customers, hey, this wreath's available. If you want to purchase it, here's the link. And I try to be really consistent about what I'm posting and where and
She had a
changing
lot.
it up.
Yeah.
What?
You had a lot of people who were liking and favoriting a lot of your items,
Yes,
but no sales.
That's what was happening. I had a lot of people come in, a lot of people favorited items, a lot of people favorited my shop, but nobody was buying. And I think they were just shopping around. They were trying to find someone who sold similar products for a lot less. And probably they found them because I can still find people who are selling their wreath items for well below what they should be, because when I factor in how much their materials cost should be, either they're trading materials costs, like they're just recouping all their materials costs back. They're not making any money on anything, or if they are, it's very, very little. And generally what you're supposed to try to do is recoup your costs and then figure out what your labor rate is. So whatever your labor rate is, you need to factor that in.
Pig Cerberus, I really like the way the wreath is looking with the 2 mesh.
See, it's definitely thickening it up. It's also bringing the base up a little bit, which is really nice.
And then Linda Ziegenmeyer said, first time being able to talk. LOL. Hi from Linda from Elko, Nevada. Welcome, Linda.
How close are you to Vegas? I think Vegas will always be like the key point for people who say they're from Nevada.
Right.
They would go, well, so how close are you to Vegas? We know where Vegas is.
It's either Vegas or Reno.
Right. Reno's more north?
Oh yeah, way north. Karen said, so you went to flat rate shipping rate for every item?
Yes. Yep. And I think that helped with the lower price items, because a lot of people, like if I priced the elf, let's say for example, I priced the elf for $20 and Etsy's free shipping guarantee says it's only free shipping if you hit a $35 minimum, which means that if somebody just wanted to buy the one elf, they were stuck having to go back in my shop and look for another item or pay whatever the current shipping rate was. And so now they can just go get the elf and I can price it for a whole lot lower and they just pay the shipping. So I'm selling all different kinds, high-end stuff, low-end stuff. So I think that's a benefit for us anyway. I think that there's probably a huge benefit for people who deal in items that are under 12 inches to ship and way less than a pound. Those people are going to definitely benefit from free shipping because they're not an oversized item like we are. We're almost done with the base. Like I said, this one's not going to have an awful lot of ribbon embellishments on it because the inside real estate will be occupied. And I was trying to think, did I already lay the white down? Yes. So when you do your Deco mesh at 20-inch ruffles, it completely uses the entire roll. So you don't have that little extra, I don't know, 60 inches or so on your, is it 60? 35, 40 inches still on a Deco mesh roll. And if you're like me, we don't throw anything away, so we end up throwing it in your closet. And honestly, it's not going to benefit you because you can't really do anything with it.
Yep. Everyone just join in. Janie Bowman said, first time catching you live from Mississippi. Hi, Janie.
Oh, thank you for joining us.
Yep.
So.
Hi, Kathy. Hi, Trisha. Trisha said, I got all my shipping changed. Hoping it helps with sales, I think. She said going it helps with sales, but I think she meant hoping it helps with sales.
So remember that if you think that you're just going to list your items on Etsy and then hoping that Etsy's going to, you know, as people are typing in the correct shipping or the correct search terms, that your item's going to pop up, you can't leave it all to chance like that. It's your business, it's your shop. You've got to bring that business in. You've got to let people know what do you have, where are you selling it, how can they purchase it, and make it as shortcut possible, like 1 to 2 links, and they should be in your shop with that particular item. Anything more than that, because this is what I learned from the blogging world, anything more than 2 clicks, a customer has a tendency of getting frustrated, and they just will look for something much easier to buy. So we want to make it as easy as possible.
And there's a Jackie Spielman says hi, or Jackie from Delavan, Wisconsin.
Oh.
Happy to remember to catch you live. Big fan of you both. Love the iridescent and foil combined along with the ruffles.
Isn't that weird? Who would have ever thought? Like, I would have never thought to do this. So see, sometimes
what, ruffle over ruffle? Why not?
Yeah, like literally a ruffle over ruffle.
You've done it before.
I have, but usually I'll like lay down a really super huge thin base, and then I just might add a smaller deco mesh to the top just to give it a pop of color. This is exactly like you were saying, one directly on top of the other, but this is allowing both to do their own thing, and I like the effect it has. So it's making it very nice and thick.
Oh, awesome. Hi, Wilhelmine. She said, my husband and I just finished setting up for a show. Good luck.
Yes, hope you sell out. That's what we always say, right? That's like a wreath maker's thing. I hope you sell out.
Show up and sell out.
Show up, sell out, and take away tons of orders. I think that's our dream.
And they have some good food while you're out there.
Yes. I know. I was looking at my Facebook memories today, and today, believe it or not, Steve, we were doing our first craft show up in Wrightwood.
Oh, up in Wrightwood.
Way, like 2 years ago.
That fall festival?
The fall festival.
Oh.
Yep. Which was a total bust for us. Because it was...
I mean, you already had a couple people who were going to promise to buy some stuff, and then...
That was it.
You sold like 3 or 4 other things.
That was pretty much it, because here it is, October 25th as of today. We made the mistake of thinking, well, we'll bring all this Halloween stuff. No, we weren't even thinking that people are only going to have 5 days to put it on their door, and then it becomes useless. Yeah. So we didn't have an awful lot of Christmas. We didn't have an awful lot of fall. So we ate a lot.
Pat asked, is there any kind of device out there for helping make ruffles? It's really hard for my hands to do it.
To do ruffles?
Yeah.
So where is your challenge?
I guess you still have to do it. I mean, you could hold it in the Bodabra, but in order to do the ruffle, you still have to use your hands.
Yeah, because if you see here, I'm using a weighted object just to keep everything flat. And could I do this with one hand? Let's see. Could I do one-handed? Because I've had people ask.
Pliers in the way.
Yeah, but I'm trying to. The pliers help keep everything centered. So yeah, you can do a one-handed ruffle. I think I had somebody ask me that they're disabled and they really only have one crafting hand to craft with. So could I think of any method that would be easy? And so if you look, like the ones that are patterned are easier because you can just take your fingers and walk it down that line and then just open up your deco mesh and put it in. But yeah, you could use the Bodabra to hold it, but I knew I had one more way in here. I could almost skip this and you would never know, except that I have a white and a red and white one left, and it's full.
Elaine said the iridescent mesh is popping with the green reflection under the light. Really looks different.
It does.
A little bit, yeah. I think it'll help with the green clothes and the boy and
yes,
some of the green.
They have the sparkles. Like all of their clothes have that tinsel in them. So like her dress, the items on her hat is definitely.
Yeah, Trisha said, love that iridescent mesh on the bottom. It really makes it with the red and white pop.
It does. That's what's weird.
Hey, and my cousin Debbie's watching. Hi, Debbie.
Debbie Webb?
Debbie Webb.
Yeah.
Good to see you.
I got to meet a lot of Steve's relatives at his dad's memorial service. So the lady who designed my aprons, I got to meet her for the first time. And Debbie, she runs like, it's not a camp, like a B&B kind of thing.
It's kind of like a camp slash B&B, yeah.
Yeah, up in Oregon. So I was like, oh.
Debbie's welcome to tell everybody what it is.
Yeah.
We'd really love to get up there too.
That
one
we
day.
need to do. So this is the last one. And then let me just fluff this all out. So look how gorgeous that is for just a base. Just thickening that up. And I mean, no light. You cannot see the frame through the deco mesh at all, which is really nice. So, okay, so that's done. And so let me show you what we did to prep the little elf boy and girl. So, in the bottom of a lot of our plush, there is weighted, like they stuff them with beans, rocks, trying to think of what else, like little plastic pellets. And so when I weighed both the boy and the girl, they weighed close to a pound with both of them with their weighted bottoms. And this is what was in each of them. So she actually had, it's like rocks and gravel in a little plastic bag. And then the boy elf, his was more contained. But when you look at the scale, because for us in wreath making, it's all about weight. So anywhere we can cut weight would be beneficial. So there's the scale at 0. And that's exactly, I took 8 ounces, 8.4 ounces out of their bottoms, which is more than their body weight combined now. So when we put these guys on, it's 5.9 ounces. So that's a huge savings. Plus, for someone who has to hang up the wreath, that's huge. You know, they don't have to, it's not overly weighted. So we surgically, with a seam ripper, just ripped open the bottom, pulled the little self-contained bags, because they're actually in bags, so you don't have to worry like they're all going to spill out.
Yep.
And then sewed them back up. You could hot glue them back up if you don't, you know, want to get into the whole sewing aspect of it. But that's what we did, and now they're much happier. They're much healthier, and they have a lot more energy because they're not carrying around that extra weight anymore. The sign, this sign, Hobby Lobby, right?
Hobby Lobby, yep.
Hobby Lobby.
I found that one.
Yes, Steve found this one. So of course it had to make its way into my cart, which means that I have to come up with a design for it. So it just says Santa's Workshop, Elves Only. And if you open the door, you can actually open the door. So it's got a little lock on it. So I thought this would be a cute item for a sign, and then bring out our elves that are basically guarding the door so that nobody can go inside. So this is going to be our sign for this particular design, and I think we're going to move it down because here's what I wanted to do is our elf girl, our elf boy are going to be situated down here, and then I was going to do a really nice big huge fluffy bow up here, and then it'll just have the ribbon and the bows around the outside. So it'll kind of look like that by the time we're done. So do you guys think it should be bow on top, or do you think we should move the sign up? Oops, move them up a little bit, and then do big bow at the bottom, and then let the tails cascade out the bottom. You guys get to decide, and then we will craft it and make it tonight. So you guys just tell me top or bottom for the bow. And I'm going to go ahead and prep our sign.
Linda said top.
Okay.
Sam said those elves are adorable.
Hobby Lobby. Except I don't know where the little girl came from. I'm sure she's not hard to find with the little boy. Okay. So
Linda said top.
on the back of the sign, it actually comes with a little hanger. So we're going to use the one hanger at the top for fastening this to the top.
Jackie said top. Peggy said top.
Everyone says top.
Elaine said move the sign lower.
Okay, we could go way lower too.
Teresa said them on the bottom, bow on the
Okay.
top. Now everybody's saying bottom. Gloria, Jesse, Linda, bottom, bottom, bottom. Kathy said top. Sandra said top.
Okay. So now we need to also add a pipe cleaner to the bottom. You don't want to add it to the door because the door is not thick enough. I don't believe. It actually is thick enough.
Yeah, but then you wouldn't be able to open the
But
door.
then you wouldn't be able to open the door. So we're actually going to staple it to the bottom part of our
Tammy,
sign.
Wilhelmine, and Patty said bottom.
See?
Margie said bow on top, which means Kim said bow on top, which means it's on the bottom.
Right.
So I think it's now more bow on the top.
Which is what we said.
Right.
Okay. So, staple gun, and we're just going to attach our pipe cleaner right to this. I'm going to go ahead and put another one in just to be on the safe side. Our sign's all wired up. So if we're going bow on the top, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Just making sure. But everyone said to go a little lower. I just need to make sure that they don't hang ridiculously off the end.
I think either way will be good. Elaine asked if you could show it both ways, but it's kind of hard because you'd have to have the bow ready and everything. So.
Which we can still technically do. We can go ahead and create the bow and then do bow and say, look, and then keep in mind that the outside edge will have all the ribbons and tails going too.
Right.
So it's just where do we place the bow and how do we position everything on there. So let's go ahead and do our bow. We'll do that first. So let me take these and set those aside. Put this over here. I'm going to do it with the bow dabra. And the only fraying you're seeing is from the tinsel ties that I twisted everything in with. So, 2, 3, and 4, I think. I might just do these ones. Usually I try to break up patterns with solids. So I might do, this is where it's challenging. Because I always like to end with a nice pattern. So we might do it like this. And then we have Santa stocking, 2.5 inch ribbon, and then the Christmas ornament. So I was thinking they're both kind of Santa inspired.
Yeah, those are cute. You can do those every other one.
What?
Do them every other one.
What?
On the outside, the 2.5 inch.
Oh, I have a different 2.5 inch for my outside.
Oh, gotcha.
So we're gonna dovetail our end first for our tails. So push these to the side so you can see. Dovetail just means putting that really nice V shape at the bottom. Bless you.
Try not to.
That's okay. Wired edges here, you're gonna go from your fold down to that point in your wired ribbon where it ends, and then depending upon how intense you angle it down, you're either gonna get a really deep V or just a
Shallow
yeah.
V.
I don't really call it shallow because that to me is like it's
Light angle or a deep angle.
yeah. But what I usually do is for tails, how to figure out how long your tail should be, right? I usually look and go, okay, if my bow's going to be here, how long do I want my tails to cascade down? So if we put our sign here, if it hits on the other side, look where this will impact us. Let's say they're
you probably don't want
typically
to be
there.
more than like 5 inches, 6 inches.
Yeah, so believe it or not, we might have to go to the bottom, which is Steve's favorite, but we'll see.
Then you can make them long.
Then you could technically make them as long as you want. But let's just start at 10 inches for our tails, which is about that long. Move this to the side so you can see.
That looks great. Donna said, yeah, the bow on top. Got your rock. We'll see once she does the bow.
So the bow dabra is all about the twist. You don't have to do a little scrunch, you just do a twist. So that when you put it in, you're starting with your bow material right side up, and then when you do the twist, it now makes this the wrong side, so that when you bring it up and turn it around, you've got your right side facing out like a bow should. And then I just kind of guesstimate where I think it needs to wind up. So we're gonna go 5.5 inch loops, which is exactly what this is. I just kind of take this and keep it on the 10. So I just kind of keep my bow dabber lined up on that 10 line. Somebody in our private group did say that you could take right where your center is and draw a line here and draw one on here so that you can line that up better and know where middle is if you can't eyeball it. So we're going to do the 5.5 inch loop. This ribbon did come from Craft Outlet.
Donetta asked, Kat, can you make a Christmas wreath on a budget?
Yes, we can. Have we done a Christmas wreath on a budget?
I don't know. If we did it last year.
We did the candy cane one, right? Did we do a candy cane? No, we didn't do one with the loop. I will definitely put that in the works so that we can do that.
Linda's on 3 birds nest. She said it's looking adorable. Hi, Sheila.
We're using all of your stuff. So we're using our elf girl, our
Your
Deco
frame.
mesh, your frame. Yeah. Okay. So there's that one.
Katie said I love the sign.
I love the sign too. Steve has really good taste with his designs. But I was like, you know, when he picked it out, I was like, so you're going to make that? He's like, no. I'm like, well, you should. They always want to see him make. So now we're going to do the stocking the same way.
Hi, Faith.
And we're going to flip this.
Donna said, what about one on the corner at the top and one on the corner at the bottom?
I think it would look weird.
Yeah.
Just because the elves are supposed to be kind of guarding the door. So, do I want to do these? Let's take these down to 9.5 inches. So we're going to twist. And that's going to be there.
Linda said, I thought the elf looked familiar.
Yeah, the elf girl. I had to go
Yep.
find the elf boy. She needed a partner in crime.
Cheryl, yes, we can see your texts or your posts.
Did she ask a specific question?
She
or
just said,
something?
can you see me? I'm watching you.
Oh, okay. I can't. Steve can't. That'd be nice if we had a nice monitor, full-size monitor, like right down here. Isaiah hooked that up for me
Yeah, but
once.
then you'd be too focused
I'd be like,
looking at the monitor.
What is
Yeah.
that? Yeah, not working. Okay, so I'm keeping both of these at 5.5 inch loops. I'm going a little shorter by 1/2 inch for the tail. So I'm taking it to 9.5 inches. And then doing our dovetail.
And we did a tutorial on Wednesday to make up for the one she was going to do on Monday. Monday we're driving up to Tahoe.
Tahoe. Yes, I love Tahoe. So, and this ribbon's almost gone. So this
Awesome,
will be.
Cheryl. She said I made my first and second Deco mesh rope candy canes.
Oh, very
For the
cool.
Deco mesh tubing.
Yes, that's the one that I called the Wreath on a Budget.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we're gonna go with the green tinsel tie. This came from Shinoda, which is an online wholesaler here in Southern California. But you can order from their website. You just have to have your wholesale number.
Mm-hmm.
So
But
this-
do they have a full section of the ribbon, or it's only the ribbon they have in stock that's not on clearance? I think, right?
It's whatever they have on their website.
Yeah.
This wasn't clearance, I don't think. You just wanted green because we're always having a challenging time finding solid green that isn't a sheer green. So that's 5.5. We are going to leave these at 5 inches. And these are 9-inch tails. There's that. And here's 9. I love this ribbon because it's no glitter, but it looks like it has glitter.
Cheryl said I made a tool to make them faster. Would love to show you.
Oh, I would
on
love to see
the
it.
Deco mesh tubing.
Oh, I would definitely love to see that. And I think I knocked my pen to the floor.
Donna said, what about a royal blue and silver mesh candy cane? That would be pretty.
Yes. The interesting thing is we can always think of all these great color combinations, but sometimes I just found my pen. Sometimes they don't sell, you know. Even though it looks great, it looks amazing. I just know that traditional colors generally are well received by buyers.
Yeah.
So this one's like a story thing, kind of. I see this one being more inside than outside. So we're gonna go 8.5 on this one. So there's my 8.5, and I'm gonna do 5-inch loops on this. So I'm just comparing that to the green below. And some ribbon, like the thicker, like this canvas, that's painted with its design, can be challenging to twist and get it to fit, because it doesn't want to twist where it's painted.
Oh, Cheryl, that's right. She said, feel free to contact me. I'll bring it over since we're neighbors. She's the one that's over in Phelan or Oak Hills.
Really? Okay.
We're,
cool.
We're gonna go to dinner tonight?
Yeah, I think.
Hey Cheryl, we might go to dinner tonight at our favorite Mexican restaurant, Paulina's, which is by the bowling alley.
Well, let's see.
So if you feel up to
I
it,
know where that's at. I'm making sure these are 8. That's so funny. We should invite everyone up. I'd be like, we could do a wreath making class at Paulina's because we know the owner.
Right. Donna Wilson said hi from San Diego. She's not too far. Well, she's a couple hours away. Hi, Donna.
But still, not like traveling 3 days type of thing, because you guys know I don't fly.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, for now. So let's try to get that to stay in there. Then I'm going to do the red lame, which you guys loved the green. So this is from Michaels. So Michaels has impressed me with their ribbon. It's just very, the material part of it is not very sturdy. It's very flimsy. So there's that. We will do, we did 8. So we're doing 7.5, because now we're coming up to the top part of our bow, so our tails need to get shorter because we're building it from the bottom up, which means that my loop length.
Kathy Fox said I can be there in an hour.
No, she can't, can you?
Kathy, where do you live? Kathy Fox?
She lives further away than that.
Yeah, isn't she down there by Lindy?
I don't know. I know there's some people who live in like Chino, which would still take some people a little ways to get here. We're based in Southern California. We're actually in the high desert, which we call it the top of the hill because the high desert's actually above. We're like, what, at the 4,000?
She was joking around. She said no.
Okay.
She's not that close.
I was going to say.
Oh, she's in New Jersey.
Yeah.
That's why she put the laughing face on her.
She could make it in, well, not in an hour, not by plane.
No.
So
Guess that I can be there in 2 days.
Flying, you could be there in less.
Flying, you could be there in 8 hours.
Yeah, basically, because you'd have to probably lay over in Dallas.
Hi, Dawn. Cheryl said, party time. You going for happy hour? No, just dinner.
No, I actually don't drink, believe it or not.
They have beer and wine there, but yeah, we're not really big drinkers.
No, I don't.
Hi, Dawn.
Even at all my corporate functions, when I used to be a corporate trainer, I actually had more fun watching everybody else get completely hammered. Just shaking my head going, man, the things we could say, the things we could do.
Well, I mean, earlier said I ordered some of that stretchy ribbon from the Wreath shop. They only have the natural color, which is the color we like.
Yes, that
for
was
$5.95
really nice.
a roll. So that's a good price.
That is a really good deal because stretchy ribbon from Joann's was last year's Christmas ribbon. It's the kind that it starts off one width and you can actually stretch it to double. So that's why we call it stretchy ribbon.
Sandy Luwag says, I'm in Corona. I would need a helicopter this time of night. Yeah, you would. Traffic is always terrible right now.
Yeah, Friday night, going up the pass.
Yep. Hi, Nissy.
Because we're at the top of the 15. Nobody knows where Victorville is. We have to just say
A lot of people know where Victorville is.
we're on the way to Vegas is what we say.
Yep.
We are 2.5 hours from Vegas. And no, we don't go to Vegas very often.
Pat Reed said, I live in the high desert in Central Oregon. Must be around Bend area.
Yes. Okay, so you can see we have all of our colors completely stacked. I usually just find a corresponding color pipe cleaner. I choose pipe cleaners over floral wire because it's easier to find through the Deco mesh, number one, and it's easier to twist,
And grab.
especially if you have challenges with your hands anyway. So there's my stacked bow mess, which is exactly what you build on your pro bow on your finger. So I just take this and twist, and I actually fluff on my wreath so I don't have to fluff on my board and then fluff on the wreath again after taking it off. So let's tentatively, are we tentatively putting it on top? Yeah, let's put it on top. We'll start at the top, and if we hate it, we'll just move it to the bottom.
Okay. Oh, Sandy's down there by Tom's Farms. We know exactly
I
where
know right where you're at.
Yep.
I love Tom's Farms.
And then Linda said she lives in the high desert in Elko, Nevada. So
Oh.
she said she was 8 hours from Vegas. So she must be
Way north?
way northeast probably.
Okay. So, I always get asked this question all the time. How do you not make it to where your bow is, what did they call it yesterday?
Buried.
Buried.
Or too deep.
Too deep on a wreath like this is if I pulled it all the way to the frame, this is what would happen.
Right.
You don't want to do that. When you have a base method this full, you want it right on top of all your deco mesh, because your deco mesh is going to support your bow. You just want to hit the frame and just twist it onto your frame.
Yep.
Just like that. And then you have to sit here and you start going, what I do is I go one tail down, one loop up on one side. So if the tail goes down, the loop goes up. And on this side, it's going to be the loop going down and the tail going up. That takes care of our 2.5. We already have the tail down here, so we're going to bring the loop down on this side and bring the tail up, because that will make sure that our tail does not go way crazy. Same thing here, we're going to bring the tail down and the loop up. Generally speaking, what should happen is your tails should be directly across from each other and your loops directly across from each other. You can always fluff them and pull them and make them go whichever way you would like, but initially that's what it should look like. So we started with tail here, so we're going to do tail down, loop up, we're going to go loop down and tail up, try to get that pretty sparkle right in the middle, and then we're going to go loop up, or loop down, tail up, and then we're going to go tail down.
Oh, that's super nice. Charlene Pine said, first time catching live show from Washington Courthouse, Ohio.
Oh,
love the way you
wow.
take your time teaching. Your wreaths are beautiful.
Thank you. Now see here, I don't know if I want 2 loops the same. I might just pull them opposite, even though I already have a loop here. I think I'll go back the way I was supposed to, so that the green is separated by both the red. And I'll do the same thing here. So see how the lame, it's what they call it, it's like a tinsel, and you don't get the glitter everywhere that we all love.
And it's still shiny.
It's still shiny, yeah. So last one, we're bringing our tails up.
Maria said, the beautiful bows you make, that's what I struggle with.
Practice. Practice, practice, practice. Even if this thing was god awful ugly, I'd take my pipe cleaner out, untwist it, pull all the loops out, and then reconstruct it again. Like if I didn't like where certain ones were falling, you can definitely reposition those. You want to make sure, because we have wired ribbon, that your loops aren't laying flat, that you just take your hand inside them and just kind of put your fingers inside and just fluff them open. So even when you get the wreath, that's something that you need to do, is just put your fingers inside and fluff. Everything's wired so you can pull everything where it needs to go. And I don't really think the tails are going to impact that very much. So we might get what we like.
Hi Barbara, no, we're nowhere close to the fires. The fires are over there in like, they're on the coastal side of like Central California, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're
The
nowhere
one in
near. We don't
Sonoma.
smell anything. We're good. Yeah.
Yeah. So the challenge for this one becomes hitting that rail. So because it's so thick and I have to go through 2 levels of deco mesh, I got one done, so I need to get the other one in there. Why are
We've
you
got a
up
guest
here?
speaker.
He's not speaking. He's a guest visitor.
Sometimes he does.
Okay, I think. There we go. I thought I had it. Yes, I do. It's the one on the top. That'll be the most challenging. So I'm just going to lightly twist this like 1.5 times, just in case we have to move it.
Yeah, I kind of like that. That looks good.
Now you like
It
it?
kind of frames the top.
Yep. That's the vision you have in your head.
Cheryl said I need a bow making class 101.
Bow making class 101.
Well, she's close.
What?
Cheryl is the one that lives up here.
Oh yeah. Come on over. I'll teach you how to make a bow. We'll go to lunch, have a bow making class. There's probably a lot of people that would come up here and do that too. I know we have somebody who lives up in Hesperia, so that is
Yeah, I
definitely
haven't seen her on.
something.
She's the one with the Italian.
Linda?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, this is how it's framing. What do you guys think so far? Looks cool, huh?
Oh yeah, it looks really cool.
Yeah, it looks really pretty. Then, doesn't matter whether boy or girl goes on what side or which side, but we do have to figure out what we like and where they need to go. So neither one of them are going to be impacted by the bow tails either. What do you guys think? I'm going to try to lift this up without them falling off.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Like that?
Yep.
Okay. So we need to wire them in. Thankfully, they're both wearing overalls. So I have 22 gauge wire, which is very thick wire, and I'm doing a lot of wire because I have to go all the way down through that deco mesh. So we are going to, this is what I was saying, he has really nice little overalls that are just going to be perfect for wiring him down, yet still allow people to pose the legs or do whatever they would like. So I am just going to wire him in, just like so. And so that's all I have done, is I have wired him by his overalls. And then we're just going to feed that wire down, hoping to get it to go all the way through the deco mesh. That's why I went with a thicker gauge wire, so that we can hit those rails on both sides, preferably the big thick one. I feel like I'm sewing.
She also need wide angle lens.
Right, there we go.
Yeah, Jennifer Basinger said first time watching or catching live, Door County, Wisconsin. We just had somebody else said they were from Wisconsin
Oh, that's true.
earlier in the show, so I was a new gal too, so maybe you two are close to each other.
And then you can craft together.
Whoever else is from Wisconsin, type post on here.
He's so cute. He has like adorable. And then his hat, you can pose his hat, so you can bring his hat down.
You're saying beautiful. Julie said you make the most beautiful wreaths.
Thanks. classes.
Michelle said, "Yeah, I bet we'd all love to show up for your bow class."
Oh, by all means. Seriously. If you guys want to come up, we're going to do the same thing with her. Because I checked them all before we went live. I'm like, how nice. They both have overalls. So I don't have to poke it into the back of their head or their bodies. So we're just going to twist them in and make sure that their heads are about the same height.
She needs to go a little higher, or she's a little bit taller.
She's actually a little bit taller. And she's got the same thing.
Michelle said, "Looks cute, super cute."
We'll make his hat bend to the outside that way, and her hat bend to the outside this way.
Barbara, if you're asking about the door that we always use, I got it from
Lowe's. You bought the door
from Lowe's, yeah. And it was only about $40 some, I think.
44 something.
Yeah. It's a great prop.
It is our great prop. It's a great prop to do all your photographs for Etsy or for Facebook. Because if you get it, you can paint the backside one color and then just leave it white because it came painted white. I just wish we had these really nice doors in our house.
Cheryl asked, "Is this wreath for sale?"
Yes, it is. It's actually already listed in my Etsy shop. So.
But you don't have a picture of it on there.
It just says Facebook Live, and then if you click the next picture, it actually shows these two with the sign that I posted out there earlier. So.
Awesome. And Brenda asked, "What is the price point?"
I'm actually selling this one for $110 and shipping's only $15 anywhere in the lower 48 states.
So is that $110 included?
Not including shipping.
Okay.
$125 total with shipping included. So yeah. And then Steve had this novel idea that this should open, and Santa should be like, you could get that little Santa head.
Santa pick. Yeah.
But I was like, his head would be lower than where their bodies are. So I'm all,
I decided to do it,
yeah. We're still waiting for you to create yours. And their hands are bendable, so they can be posed. So if you wanted to, you could get a little package, which I might put in here later. Put little packages in their hands like they were on their way to load the sleigh. And now we're going to add the ribbon to the outside. We might come back in and add another bow to the thing. Maybe a little smaller. What do you think? Let's add the ribbon and see what we think.
You mean a smaller bow on the bottom?
Yeah.
Yeah, you could.
I like to fill it, but not overly fill it.
Brenda, so the female elf she got from
the mystery box.
The mystery box from 3 Birds Nest CO on Etsy.
Yeah.
And the boy elf she got from Hobby Lobby to match her.
Right.
And they match really good.
They do. Look, their heads, their eyes, everything matches perfectly. So a ribbon for the outside, 2.5 inch. I'm also doing this diagonal print in addition to the Christmas ornament and the stockings. So we're going to kind of toggle. There's only 9 spaces to the outside instead of 12. So this just made it really super easy for my math skills. So one side is sparkly, the other side not. So obviously we want to make sure we're putting that sparkle to the outside. And I'm just going to use these on all the outside ties, just like this. And we're going to fan those to the outside. I also have some fun picklets that we're going to put in here, which are super fun. These came from Michael's. They just remind me from the Dr. Seuss movie, the Lorax.
The Lorax, yeah.
With the trees. I don't know what the trees were called. Does anyone remember what the trees are called? Steve and I were trying to figure that out. So this will be super fun. Okay. So I am not opening my tinsel ties. I'm just putting the ribbon directly on top and then just kind of fanning those tails outward. So I'll show you what we're going to do right here. which is just underneath her. We have the Christmas ornament. So I fold it in half just so I can find where middle is. And then this is where you do the little gather. And you just lay this directly inside and give it a couple twists. And then I take them and just kind of fan
Form like
them
a
outwards so that you can, they frame the wreath.
Crystal said truffle-a-trees.
Truffle-a-trees, that's what it's called.
Thank you, Crystal.
That's what they are. They're Christmas truffle-a-trees.
Cheryl said, what about a bunch of packages spilling from the door down in front of the bow?
Yeah, you could.
Even you could stuff the inside with packages so it looks like the room is just full of
I just don't know where the Christmas,
packages.
do you remember where the Christmas packages were that we used when we did the
all the little small boxes.
the centerpiece?
Are
You
they
know, like when we
outside?
did the centerpiece one?
Yeah, I think they're out in the garage.
I don't think so. I think they might be in the craft room. That was one of the things that I meant to grab because I was like, I always try to remember to bring more than enough.
Thank you, Ruth. She said you are indeed a superb crafter. Your
Aw.
decorating ideas are unbelievable. I love watching you work, and I love this wreath.
Wait till you see the one we're gonna
So do you
build. You're gonna try to go? Let me have your phone so I can answer questions while you're going to dig for the presents.
Okay,
The little packages.
you can take it off.
There, perfect. Okay, so I can actually read these. So the one that we're actually going to be doing in our private group on Sunday is going to be a grapevine one. That I think I've labeled. Make sure I've got the correct pattern going. A walk in the woods. So that's what we're going to be teaching them. So it's going to be a very woodland-esque Christmas. So I'm looking forward to doing that one. I went out to Michael's and spent a lot of money on picks because I couldn't stop with all the really pretty greenery that Michael's has this year. I was like, if I don't get this now, it won't be here when I really want to do it. Thank you, Brenda, for sharing. So yeah, if you guys want this readily available, easier to find, if you share this video, it just goes on your page. It's so much easier to find than trying to find this on mine. So I'm just going around and adding that, kind of moving him out of the way. Here's the last one here. That was like the only thing I cannot remember where I put, and I think Hobby Lobby in their miniature section has a lot of little packages. They're red, green, silver, and gold. Brenda said, Facebook's crazy. Instead of comments, it shows who's watching. That's new. I have not heard of that one. And Steve's still digging. It's got to be in a bin, I think, babe. But in all honesty, I don't even remember. I'm trying to think, what did I put in that pick? Because I'm thinking maybe he's right. Maybe I did put it in the pick box.
Haven't found them yet.
Oh, you haven't found them yet? Oh, more tinsel balls, tinsel pom-poms.
You think you know where they're at?
I honestly don't. I'm trying to keep his feet. I love their little beaded feet. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back in and I'm going to add some 1.5 inch ribbon. So I have the trees, I have the little squiggle zigzags, and some of that green tinsel to pull it down into the wreath and bring some of the green in. The 1.5 inch ribbon are all cut to 16 inch lengths. The 2.5 inch were all cut to 14 inch pieces. So we are obviously going to try to pick which do I want to go where. I think I'm going to take the tinsel. The tinsel is going to go on the ornament. You're good. You're good. I can find them later. I'll just look for them later.
Yeah, look in
At
the bottom bins.
packages. Because that's what I actually was going to stick behind the doors. I was going to load this down in here full of packages. So if the little kids or whomever opened the door, they would just see there's presents. And if you wanted to, you could kind of put to so-and-so from Santa or whatever. And it'd be like, oh, don't spoil your Christmas packages just yet. So I do what's called a half bow, because we know that bows have 2 loops and 2 tails. So these are called half bows because it's only 1 bow and 2 tails. They're like awareness ribbons. So I'm going to put this on the zigzag or on the diagonal. So what I do is I fold it in half about 2 inches from the top. I just gather that. So if you see this is exactly 2 inches, then this goes directly on top of our 1.5 inch ribbon, like so. And then you again want to fluff your loops, and then you just have those feather the same way that your tails do. So they just kind of fill that space. I always think that ribbons, when you do tails, need to have something has to go in the center. Same thing with this one. We're doing this on the Christmas stocking. So trees and stockings. Although it should have been trees with ornaments. But I just think this one's matches a little better. So, and yes, I even go right underneath because there's a tinsel tie that goes under the bow. Steve's like, why do you put ribbon under the bow? No one's gonna see. And I'm like, but I do. It's just, it finishes the look. So that way, as people are pulling it out of the box, if I pay attention to the things nobody sees, as well as the stuff they do see, I think that's what sets you apart.
Yep.
As a good quality wreath maker.
Trisha, so the sign with the little door in the middle of it, we got that from Hobby Lobby.
50% off right now.
Yep.
So, and then we'll add the picks, and if we decide we want to, we can add another bow. Just maybe go a little smaller. I can whip that bow out pretty quick. That might be interesting because we haven't done a double bow wreath in a long time.
Yeah, I think that'd be pretty, a smaller one on the bottom.
Yeah. So I'm just cruising around the outside, making sure my trees are face up. I mean, there's so many other things you could put in here. Like you said, you could put packages in here. You could put little candy cane, like suckers, like peppermints. That could go in here.
Peg asked, Kat, was there a class on the wreath on the door? Yes, but I was in the private group, right?
No.
Or no?
We just built the base. It's
Oh, that's
just a
right.
ruffle base.
That was right. That was just our base.
But I am going to start challenging my private group because you guys always want to do co-creates. So I think what I'm going to do is once a month, I'm going to challenge you to do a co-create base. And then whatever base method we choose. So everyone's going to do the same colored base. Like in this case, it would be, you're going to buy the iridescent and then you're going to get the red and white. And everyone's doing double ruffles, 20 inches. Everybody agrees to do it. And then from then on in, you have a week to 2 weeks to embellish it, to make it yours. Like that was just all solid green, flat ruffle deco mesh. And I want to see how well you guys do in creating something from a base method, whatever base method I give you, to challenge your creativity.
Sally asked, where did you get the girl elf? It was from
Three Birds Nests. She sells mystery boxes So she's actually restocking, I believe, her Christmas and winter boxes now. So it's $65 in the stuff that comes in the box is enough to create 2, maybe 3 wreaths, and shipping's included. So with that is a really good deal. So she came in the box. The red and white Deco mesh came in the box. The wreath form that I'm using tonight was in the box. And then there was a ton of other stuff. I think I had like 5 rolls of ribbon. I had some picks, which I think I broke apart and used in some other design. So it's really super good.
Cheryl asked, how much does your group cost a month?
My group is $17 a month, and you get discounts from Three Birds Nests. So if you wanted to purchase a mystery box, you get to apply your discount to that. So I always tell people, please don't forget about your discounts because it's there to help save you money. You get a detailed materials list like this. Wreath tonight will have all the materials list from the wire wreath frame, the deco mesh item numbers, how long the pieces were cut, was it a ruffle, was it a cruffle, was it a curl, was it a curl and weave, where did you get the elves, where did you get the sign, where did you buy all the ribbon, how long were the ribbon lengths cut. So technically when we do tutorials, our group just gets to sit back and watch. They don't have to do anything because I supply them with the materials list. So you can go out and create this one if you want. And if you're interested in joining, it's, like I said, $17 a month. You get access to my entire personal library, so all the wreaths that we have done over the last 2 years. Wow, it sounds like such a long time. You get all the materials list and all the videos. So those are all available to you in the library. And if you're interested, you can sign up at Kats Creations, the letter N, as in Nancy, the word more, .com.
Yep, I just typed it in and posted it.
Oh, thank you.
www.KatsCreationsNMore.com.
See, I thought about adding the little pom-pom things where they are. What do you think? Do you see where I added them?
Oh yeah,
Right here.
Yeah, those are cute.
And right here, because there was just like this blank space. So I was like, oh, we can add the little pom-poms in there and kind of pop those greens and reds there. Okay, so what do you guys think? Should we add a bow to the bottom? Or should we just...
I say yes.
You say yes? You
A small
always
one.
say yes.
Just a small one.
He'll always say yes. Most of the time.
Gordon and Susie said, beautiful wreath, Cat. Thank you, Brenda. She said, Kats Creations is so worth it.
Aw, thanks, Brenda.
Oh, Linda, that's nice. She said, Wes does. He helps me carry my bags out of the store and into the house.
What was that?
Sandra, she's been dealing with bad allergies, so her nose is constantly stuffed up. It's tough for her.
This is the worst allergy season ever. I've gone to the doctors, and the doctors are like, well, just keep switching up your allergy meds. I'm like, well, can you recommend one that actually works? And I actually took them about 2 hours ago, so they should have kicked in, but they're not.
Gordon and Susie said, perfect as is. Jesse said, add a bow. Brenda Bracken said, yes, small bow.
Small bow, right?
Yeah.
Like, I'm thinking don't do the 2.5 inch, like just do one with all 1.5 inch. So it stays small and compact.
Yeah.
So let's make one. Worst case scenario, we hate it and we just don't use it. So
Linda?
This.
Yes, that is a snowman wreath hanging in the background. He's super cute. He's also for sale on Etsy.
We didn't make that one. Did we make that one? No.
No, we had that one before.
That was like, that
Yeah,
was
we
the
made
whole
that for a week
base
before.
class. They challenged me to a base class, so I taught them 5 different base methods, and then we went and trying to think of which one I started with. The Christmas tree, then the LeMay. Hold on. No, it was the green base. So we taught them 5 different base methods, and then of course I have 5 different bases sitting here, and I'm like, okay, out of all of these, which one did you want to see me do a tutorial on? And of course they picked the curl and weave, which is gone. It sold. They called it Medusa's hair, is what it looked like. Or someone made the reference, if you're a Pokemon fan, a Christmas Tangela, which is just this jumble of curls all woven together. It really did.
Sandra said, allergies are terrible too. Hope you're feeling better. Kathy said, have you gone to ENT? I don't know.
Ear, nose, and throat.
Oh, ear, nose, and throat.
I need to do that.
Yeah, she does. I told her that. She does need to do that.
But you know what's so funny is that my primary care doctor says if you go to ear, nose, and throat specialist, they're just going to tell you to use the neti pot that you put inside your nose and you flush. And I'm like, I will never do that. I had an issue where I almost drowned, so I will never put water up my nose.
There might be other issues though.
Yeah, there might be. And I am so going to do that when we come back from Tahoe. I think it's the dust that we have out here in the desert. We've had really high winds for a handful of days. And then, of course, you're going out and watering your plants so they don't all die. I'm trying to figure out. I did 10. I think that's why. So, who knows? Maybe I'll just be up late crafting tonight.
You could always go, yeah. Antoinette says she's also gone to an allergist.
Yeah. Who knows? I mean, me and, I don't call them my in-laws. My son, through marriage, has also been challenged this year. We're both in the same boat. We both sound exactly the same.
Hi, Sue. Well, she said her allergist gave her an allergy shot, and she said it is amazing. So
I know when they put me on steroids, it really helped, but you can't be on steroids for a long period of time, like forever. So I'm just kind of making these ones with a little bit longer tails.
Hi, Sue.
So that they can kind of hang down a little bit.
Oh, awesome, Cheryl. She said, I just answered a question to join your group.
Awesome. I will go prove you as soon as we're done. And then you can be in and...
MJ said, ask your primary for a Kenalog shot. Have you heard of that?
What is that?
Kenalog. Kenalog shot. I've never heard of that, MJ.
I am so... Like, I am... Every night when I get ready to go to bed, I'm almost in tears because I know I'm not going to sleep. So this has been, what, day 3? With waking up every hour?
7.
Well, I did get some sleep. So, yeah. So, I'm like, I'm up to crafting and all that fun stuff. Because it beats going to sleep and not being able to breathe. And I hate mouth breathing.
So send it, Sarah, she's tried Flonase, Allegra, Zyrtec,
Claritin D,
off the shelf, Claritin
Benadryl,
D, 4-way, Afrin, you name it, she's tried it, and it only gives her a small temporary relief, but then it comes back with a vengeance.
It does. It does. That's why I'm so looking forward to going up to Tahoe. Because it's cold, and I seem to do really well in cold climates. I don't have this issue. So, started with a 10-inch tail with a 5-inch, was it 5-inch loop?
No, I was thinking you should only
4.5.
Yeah, 4.
4.5. Well, I had to create a base though,
Gotcha.
which means that this one is the wrong size.
I guess Kenalog is a steroid, and that's when I'd say they gave her Sumedrol.
I will so do anything at this stage of the game. Anything. That's how desperate you become. Okay, these are 4 with 6-inch tails at this stage. So I started with 9, then 8, and I think I said 7, right? Or 6.
I think she hasn't really done is the neti pot. She just doesn't like
do
the
that.
idea of a neti pot.
I just have this thing about drowning. And flying. And heights, right? Dying in general, I guess. The last one is the crazy spiral. There we go. I think this will be cool. It'll be super, super cute. And I might share pictures if I can find the packages of what that looks like. So I'm going to take these down. That was 7. I'll go to 6 and make that a lot smaller. Not that small. I just want them somewhat in between. Like you want them staggered lengths. And that's perfect. So I think I'll do 3.5 loop on this one to make it smaller, because we said go smaller. 3.5. There we go. I just think I have an issue with inflammation in general, because all of my lifelong disorders are all anti-inflammatory responses.
Yeah, Jackie even said, how about Mucinex with, like, along with Zyrtec or Allegra?
Ooh, who knows?
Yeah.
We're just gonna have to just keep hammering away until something clicks, or until we get some rain to wash all the dirt out of there.
Brenda Bracken says, Kenalog works wonders. I've had it several times in Montana. So.
Is it a shot or a pill?
I think it's a shot.
Can you grab me a pipe cleaner? I am short old pipe
You're
cleaner.
gonna need white, red,
Green.
green.
Yeah, it should be right there in the little cut. And it's funny because I had that red and white. It came from Joann's, and it's super, super thin. So I was like, we are not going super thin over a super thin. So we'll do this one. I probably should just break out my steroids and try them again. Because the doctor was nice. She actually gave me the steroid pack and said, please try everything but this. But if it doesn't help, then obviously try the steroids again.
Deborah said, don't use Afrin or Afrin, yeah.
Yeah, I tried
After
that.
3 or
It
4
didn't
days,
work.
you get what's called a rebound effect.
Yeah, we know what that is. But that didn't even help. So it wasn't enough to sell me on it the first day. I was like, okay, there's been no significant change. I'm trying to hit a rail. I think I did. I just wanted to make sure. It's one of the inner ones. So,
Went from wreath making to allergies.
right, medical diagnosis.
Yeah.
So we're gonna keep, because this is the bottom bow, we're gonna pull all the tails down and leave the loops up, but then we'll toggle, you know, whether we do green versus red, and then on this case, green and red. We'll go opposites. Same thing here. We'll pull this one down, and we'll go the zigzag and zigzag here, and go the opposites here, so that we have a little bow, a smaller bow, not a little bow, and it still doesn't impact the other tails that are there.
Gotcha.
So we'll just kind of put the curl back in these. So just running them through your fingers just puts the curl back in your bows. Boba. Yes. Bye. Yes,
He's bored.
he is. So, what do you guys think? I will hang this on the door so you can actually see what it looks like on the door. So this one's coming down. This one will go up. Although I didn't glue in my pom-pom things yet. And make sure it's hanging straight. Then we fluff all of our loops. Pull all of our tails. Let's kind of separate these. Like that.
Karen, that's funny.
What?
I have the answer to your allergies. Move east so I can make the bow making class.
Yes, that would probably fix the whole thing. This is, like I said, we've lived here, God, how long? 2003? We've lived in a high desert.
Yeah.
And this is just the worst year. It's just been a weird weather year for us. So we will come back in and actually glue the little pom-pom guys in. Because I think they look really cute. So, I'm just
They're so
fluffing.
beautiful. Yes, I love it. Wow.
Let's make sure her hair looks pretty. And I think she'll need to hold a package too.
Jane said just what it needed to top it off or bottom it off. Oh well.
Bottom it off. That's so cute. Okay. I want to make sure these stay. And then look, see? You can,
Cross their legs.
yeah, well, his doesn't want to stay. Hers will.
His feet are on backwards.
They're not, they
I
just
know.
twist.
I know. I'm just kidding.
Oh, like they just twisted that way. Like we can do it like that. There we go. Okay. So, yeah, that's exactly what we've made. So, I'm picky. I don't like to see my bows kind of fold in. I just like to see them all.
A couple of people asked to see what the snowman looks like too.
Okay, I'll bring him back up. He has everything in him. So this is my snowman with a selfie. So it just says welcome. He has tinsel snowballs. He has snowflakes. He has the glitter balls. And then he's got one on his hat. So yeah, that's the snowman winter one.
Yep.
So,
Yay.
that's that. Okay. Any other questions you guys have that I can answer for you tonight?
That's it.
I know it
Yeah,
takes
so
a little
perfect.
bit.
Love the colors. I said super cute. Great job as always.
Awesome. Love that.
A lot of people are saying Mucinex along with another like Zyrtec really helps. So
But it's funny though, Zyrtec is like, it's an antihistamine, and mine is all like, it's all congestion. So that was the whole thing what I went today. I was like looking at all the allergy meds and all, I need a decongestant that actually
well, that's what the
works.
Mucinex is.
I could, but okay.
Charlene asked, where did you get the snowman sign?
The snowman sign, 3 birds nest. It's 3, not the number, but the word. birdsnest.co, 3 birds nest company, but not company. And then as a group member, you guys get discounts on your signs too. And she's starting to carry everything. So she's starting to carry the Deco mesh and the ribbon and the signs and anything else that people are asking for, she goes out and finds. And that was just my sign. I saw it and I was like, oh, I had one snowman so left. Yeah. Except his scarf's different.
Oh yeah, but that's okay.
He has blue and white.
He
likes to match.
Yeah.
But other than that, the sign matched him perfectly.
Yep.
So, okay. Well, I think that's it. So, private group people, Sunday night at 5, we're doing a walk in the woods, Christmas/winter wreath. You could almost do it any time of the year, but it leans more towards the winter because it's like snow. So we're going to be doing that. And that is not Deco mesh, it's a grapevine. So we're going to do grapevine, Christmas/winter. And then that's it. I will look at doing a Christmas wreath on a budget for next Friday. And I know we can pull one off and have it look pretty incredible. So let me shop around the local craft places because I try to find it based on stuff you guys can readily get your hands on. Whether it's Dollar Tree, Joann's, Hobby Lobby, Michael's, stuff along that line. And keeping the price, usually when I do wreaths on a budget, it's under $15 in supplies. So you should be able to sell them for $45 plus shipping.
Yep.
Hopefully.
Thank you, guys.
All right.
Tina, the snowman is from either Craft Outlet or the Wreath Shop.
The Wreath Shop, and he's sold out for the season.
Yep. But they might have different colors.
The last time we did it, Everybody ran to the Wreath shop in the middle of the live and they all bought them before we finished.
But you can keep checking on them. So,
Yeah,
okay.
generally I don't think so. They have red and white now. Red, white, and black. Okay. Have a great night, everybody. Thanks for all your suggestions for the allergies. I'll keep you posted. Talk to you guys soon. Bye-bye.